So what was that? Yeah, I was saying. So yeah, as I said, South felt when I went prison. That's when I really saw that it felt like, and someone from a east, west, or north or northwest might tell me something different, but South felt like I felt like the entire of South was against each other, and it felt like there was parts of East that were against each other, but they were still kind of cool. And same for anywhere else. Northwest felt similar to North. Anytime I met someone from Northwest, they felt similar to me. They felt like they were South, man. They carried that a very South mentality, if that makes sense. But like, it felt South was just so against each other. So I used to think to myself, I'm trapped, bro. Sometimes I used to really feel like, bro, am trapped. And it's not until, as I said, look, certain things happen in jail, fights with people that I knew from road that I was cool with. That's when I was like to myself, nah, this is long, bruv. You really are on your own. You really are on your own, and you need to get out. And the first thing is focusing on trying to get off this GM charge. And that's when I first started to kind of, the wheels in motion. I'm not saying it was a complete, I'm off the roads. But it was the wheels in motion that the catalyst of, all right, this is the start of it, and eventually I'll get to the end of it. It'll be a bumpy ride, but eventually I'll get to it. Do you know what I mean? Because even when I come out of prison, I still got into a few bits and bobs here and there, but more just illegal activity, instead of just fighting man because you're from a different area or something like that. But eventually, as I said, like I got to that point. I got a job, and then I just went from there, type of thing.
Yeah, but even stopping out there, see, these are teachable moments, especially for youngsters who may be watching this. Is that when you're in a particular lifestyle, you think, like, I can bring it back to, there was times we used to have 300-400 people rolling deep.
Yeah, that was mad.
400 people, and you probably know all of their names.
Yeah.
Rolling deep to go and, whatever fights or whatever. But you don't realise once you get caught for a case or whatever it might be, it's you in there by yourself now. When that cell locks and they lock you behind that cell, it's you now in that case. When they give you the sentence and they say 30 years, it's you now writing that whole sentence. The so-called friends, 300-400 people you was rolling with once. You're just a figment of that, whatever used to happen back in, I remember Mitch was there, and you laugh about it for a few seconds and then that's it. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? So that's what prison does for you. It gives you that time to realise, you know what? I'm in all of this by myself. Do you know what I mean? And if that doesn't teach you and say, let me come out and actually work on myself, and the most important thing being me and my family, then you're always going to be just I don't know what to call you after that, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously, there's teachable moments.
It's brain dead.
100%.
It's
you
brain
can't
dead.
be doing this until you're 30, 40, 50.
Yeah, it's brain dead. After a while, it just becomes brain dead. It's just a very repetitive, negative surrounding that you're surrounding yourself with from now. Like, that's what you're going to do. As I said, for myself, it got to that point. As I said, I got to jail. And who's to say that it I'm not saying that jail was a starting point. It was a start point for me to change. But I could have, if I didn't go to jail, I could have changed. It might have been a little bit later, but I could have died. You never know. You don't know what could happen. So that was a precursor of me saying, it's time for me to start venturing out of this and start realizing that there is something else. Let me try and figure out what I can actually do. Because at this point, I'm 18, 19, and I'm about to go jail for 18 plus years. I'm only just 18. And now you're telling me I'm going to go for another 18 years in prison now. I ain't even lived yet. I ain't lived nothing yet. Do you get what I mean? So when I got that not guilty verdict, bruv. Like, I was like, I can actually do this. I was like, bruv. I still to this day, I think to myself, flipping hell. When the jury said not guilty, I think to myself, I'm actually gonna see the streets again, the streets of Lewisham again. There's hope here.
And they let you out on the same day from there, yeah?
Yeah, so I did a 6-week trial. My codees that was on the case with me, one got taken off halfway through, which he should have, because he actually generally had nothing to do with the entire situation. He was he was just going to a party. The girl invited him to the party he went to. So he got caught up in the mix, and he wasn't even like that. He was a cool guy or whatever, blah, blah. He's got a kid now, and he's all cool. He's all blessed, and I'm so happy for him. So he keep us case 3 weeks in. Another one, he one of his pals died on the case, on a biking accident. So he had to get taken off the case because he couldn't mentally go through the case at the time. He bust case a couple months after that, and the other guy that I was with I was on the case with, we both got found not guilty on the same day. And he never had spent a day in jail at that point. I was the only one who spent that amount of time in jail. Was in there with me for a bit, but he was also in there for other stuff. And so was but he went for, as I said, halfway through the case. Yeah, to me, bus case, and then that was literally it. I haven't really seen many of them since. I bumped into every now and then as well. But as I said, when I got that not guilty verdict, boy, walked out of Old Bailey. Bruv. It was amazing. It was amazing. Obviously, it's not amazing for the woman herself because if it's her child and stuff that's been killed. But it was amazing because it was like, all right, cool, Mitch, you've done well here. Yeah, they've got to the right verdict, but that's just a warning for you. Next time it will be something that you have actually done. Next time it will be actually something you're going down for, you actually done, whatever it could be. So it was a catalyst for me spear rolling of changing. Do you know what I mean?
Where did SE Dons come into the picture?
So as I said earlier, me, Donny Jones, me, Big G, we had been friends since nursery. So me, Donny Jones from nursery. G moved in next door to me when I was about 7 years.
Donny Jones, of course, being
Drew. Don Strapsy, yeah.
That's his actual name, Donny.
No, his actual name's Andrew. His actual name Andrew. But we just call him Donny Jones, innit? That's what we call him, innit? And then there's G, Big G, George. He moved in next door to me, literally, when I was living in Leahurst and Evergreen. And when I mean next door, I mean next door. I know people say, next door, but, a couple doors down. I mean next door. I'll climb over my fence. I'm in his garden. He climbs over my fence. He's in my garden. That type of next door. I must have said to him, come to our primary school. He did. And then we've been friends ever since. We've always been into football. Me and Strapsy, we've always been into football. We used to play manager games when we was kids, Premier Manager, LMA Manager. We always used to do that, stuff like that. George got into football more because of us, because of his influence through us. He went prison himself, and football kind of saved him more as well because he left prison, went college, and started playing for his college team. That's how he became a keeper and stuff like that. And then we've always played for Sunday teams. I played for Villa Court as a kid. I played for Sammy Montague in secondary school. Same with Strapsy. He played for, and I played for Sid Cup too. He played for Sid Cup. He played for Villa Court for a bit. I think he played for Long Lane as well. But obviously, when we went to secondary school, we kind of fell out and loved football a little bit more and was more interested in man and rolling with a man them and looking at girls maybe more and a bit more money and stuff like that. And then after I come out of jail, I started coaching a bit. So Drew was coaching too. And then a few years later after that, after he started doing his music and stuff, with one time we was in the back room at his house, at his old house, and he was kind of words talking about, we should play a Sunday game because his brother had a Sunday team, and he was like, we should make a Sunday team, whatever. And then I remember a few weeks later.
How old were you guys around this time?
25 probably. 20 no sorry maybe a little bit earlier than that, probably about 23 24 something like that. 23 maybe, let's say 23, because at this point I had started doing sales in a job and stuff like that was my first proper job. Started doing sales and stuff like that. And I remember, as I said, was in his back room and he mentioned it. And then a couple of weeks later down the line, he phoned me and was like, yeah, Mitch, we've made the team, me, Palms, my dad. Are you in? And I said, yeah, I want to play. Yeah, Drew's dad, innit? There was a part of making the team, innit?
Playing in the team.
No, making the team. No, his dad couldn't play. Love him, but he couldn't play, yeah. So Palms, which is the one we were talking about earlier, was the year below us in secondary school, Ryan Palmer. So he was the year below us in me and you in secondary school. And he was always a football guy. Always good at football, very athletic, always good at football. So him, Drew, and the dad, John, they made the team. I remember they called me up and I was like, I think I was one of the first signings. I might have been the first, apart from themselves, to be fair. And it was like Mitch, you want to play? And I was like, yeah, of course. Sunday football, my boys, why not? That's what my dad did when he was young. I remember he brought me a couple of times to his teams. So we just started from there, called a couple other guys that wanted to play. And then I think our first game was against a team called Manorwood. And we played at Footscray Rugby Club just off of New Eltham, just around the corner from New Eltham train station. And we lost 1-0. I played centre back. But we played well. But that was the catalyst. That was the start.
Yeah.
That was the very start of the team. And we've gone kind of strong, strength to strength since then. We've been kicked out of leagues.
Yeah.
Entered the
Well, the
league.
camera's rolling. Your
No,
first day or...
no. I wish it was.
Okay.
Because the stuff that you would have got then up until now, it would have been amazing. But, things always happen for a reason. It might have not been the best time to do it. But yeah, we got kicked out of the league. So we first entered the Alperton and Bromley League. Got kicked out of there because we fines, all that kind of stuff. Then we went, I can't remember, where did we go? Was it Woolwich Eltham or something like that? Got kicked out of there, same thing. And then we joined up with another team called AFC RBG. And we he said if we played under his team, his name, he would do all the secretary stuff, all of that.
Okay.
He would do all of that. And we was like, we just want to play football.
Yeah, exactly.
You deal with that.
Yeah.
We'll just play football.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what we did. He booked the pitches, booked the games. We played the matches. And then it went a little bit left with him because I think he owed a lot of people money. I might be right, but I think he owed a lot of people money, this guy.
Sounded too good to be true.
Yeah, but it was... No, not really. But it was later down the line and really come to a head. I remember he booked us to play a game, but he booked us on 2 7-a-side pitches at Bacon's College instead of the 11-a-side pitch.
Yeah.
It was like, why are we playing on a 7-a-side pitch? We're supposed to be playing on 11-a-side. And I think that was was like, do you know what? This is kind of, this is kind of dead now. We still want to play football. So we went back to calling it SE Dons again. And then...
How did the name come about?
So Dons, obviously, because he's straps his team, Dons has come from his name, innit? Yeah, Dons. Yeah. And SE, because that's where we're all from, South East London. So everyone's from South East London or born and bred in South East London. So that's how the name came about. So when we went back, rebranding, went back to that other team, we're still playing because I don't think, and I might be wrong there, I'm not sure, but I don't think we started recording straight away. Sorry about that. But I remember he wanted to interact with his fans a bit more, his supporters. I don't even like using the word fans, by the way. Yeah. I actually think it's very cliche and cringy. Yeah. I like supporters, spectators, people that like me, and we're all fans of something, but I like to call them supporters or family. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because these people come down every day. I'm not no big time celebrity. I got like when you see, you know what I mean. Like, when I walk down the street, I go buy I buy my fruit and veg from the same place as everyone else. Do you know no one's there? So
feet to the ground.
So yes, he had a lot of supporters from his music because he was doing quite well in music. It didn't go pan out straight away, which he's trying rebranding with that now. And he wanted to interact with his supporters a bit more. So I think they first started trying to do pranks.
Okay.
I wonder if it's still up on there. I'd have to double check.
Yeah.
I think he started. I think they started trying to do pranks first, and then
that's how everybody starts YouTube.
Yeah. And then he started doing. Started saying he said he's going to bring the camera to the game. And because the cameraman was a guy that we knew, his name was Chris. You know Chris as well, actually. Okay. Do you remember Street Selected? Yeah. The guy who filmed that. Okay. Him. Yeah. So that's Chris.
So he knows how to record enough.
Yeah. So he
a very dangerous video.
Oh, bruv. Extremely dangerous, by the way. And we laugh about that.
Triggering.
A guy I got into a fight with in jail with saw me on that video. Saw me on that video.
It's just like...
It was very, very dangerous.
Reckless.
So reckless. But I think that...
All the ends trying to say what.
Yeah.
Actual stuff.
Actual stuff on that was so stupid. But I think that was the catalyst to changing things, by the way. So he filmed it. And because it was him, it's him, innit? I felt comfortable already because I knew him. So me being, I can be myself in front of the camera, laughy, jokey, blah, blah, you know what I mean, humble and all that kind of stuff. I can be you because I know the guy, do you know what I mean?
So it's like you're interacting with him rather than
the camera itself. Do you know what I mean? So that's how we did it, and it just, strength to strength, just kept on going. So would
you say that's what kind of makes you look different from the other teams, is that you lot actually record, or is it not just the recording, is it more the interaction you have with each other? Is there something, because there's other people now recording, but but they don't have the same hype.
I think it's how do I say the word again? A culmination of things. A combination of things. Sorry. One, I think it's the authenticity of the fact that when we first started, I grew up with a lot of these boys, either through school, through the area, or wherever. So most of the people that are playing for us, we knew of each other, with each other, was always cool, blah, blah, blah. So that authenticity was already there, that the team already knew each other. Do you know what I mean? And we already been playing with each other as well anyway. Yeah. So that's one. Entertainment, we're entertaining. To our own horn, yes, we are entertaining. That's the truth. We are very entertaining people. And when you meet us, we are very entertaining people, off camera or on camera. The same things you see on the camera, the same type of banter, the same type of laugh and jokes, the same type of heated arguments you see. You turn that camera off, you'll see the exact same thing. Facts. Do you know what I mean? So there's no doing it for the camera. It's doing it because that's what we do.
Did you guys realize along the line that you guys were entertaining and you had something to give on camera, or was it something that happened along the journey of let's interact with the fans?
And I've always thought we was entertaining batch because it's the type of banter I like. Do you know what I mean? Whether other people find it entertaining is a different story. But it was you only find out after, but you clearly find that an indication that they do find it. Like if they didn't, I would still think my boys are entertaining because that's what we are. Do you know what I mean? Just because someone else don't find it doesn't mean you're not. Do you know what I mean? But it's lo and behold, we've got millions of these or hundreds of thousands of these supporters and that like us and want to see us and want to interact with us and want to watch us week in, week out, want to come to our games and watch us play football, want to interact with us and have a little conversation about life in general and normal things like that. So yeah, like as I said, to toot our own horn, we are entertaining. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going to take that away from us. Do you know what I mean? And the amount of people that I've seen that I know were full-time roadman that held man up. Like, I love everything you lot are doing. I love the vibes you lot keep up. And that is strength. And I say to myself, right, man's done that. Like, that's sick. That is so sick. And then you go from that, a full-time roadman, from a guy from the middle of Oxford. You know what I mean? They don't know nothing about road, nothing. And he's saying the exact same things that he's saying. Do you know what I mean? But saying it in a different slang because obviously, do you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Doing well.
Yeah, mate, you're doing well or whatever. Oh, mate, you're doing. You know what I'm saying though. Anyway, different accent, whatever. But he's saying he has the same appreciation as the guy that I knew from Lewisham that was roadman. Same appreciation.
Let me put you a little bit on the spot.
Go on.
What role do you think you've played? And don't underplay it, yeah? What role do you think you've played in the success of SE Dons?
That's a mad one.
I made it happen. What do you think? I made it happen.
From early, because obviously you're saying it's just a few friends that were there at the beginning, plus a few more people who wanted to play.
I think
in terms of consistency,
I think
being there week in, week out.
Maybe
what's your biggest contribution to it?
Being me. That's my biggest contribution to the Dons. Being who I am, but not afraid to laugh at myself. Not afraid to laugh with people. Not afraid to have an opinion or not have an opinion, or not afraid to say, look, man, we lost the game, innit? It is what it is. We move on. Not afraid to celebrate that we've won. Do you know what I mean? I think that's I can't really. That's for. It's hard to say it about yourself. Sometimes I feel like you have to have other people to say it who might see it more.
Coming from other people
because it's something that they might have observed that I might not have observed. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, like, I'll give you an example. Like, Strapsy and Chris's hard work on what they do that I've seen has made it go to a degree. To a degree, the entertaining of how Big G is and how competitive he is as a person has made it go to a level. How humble someone like Mr. Old School has been when he's on camera and people see how he talks on camera. It's made it go to a certain ways. The way players like the Dugs, Mad B. Dogs, Mad B, people like Zach Hansen, people like Jack Aldino, all these people that might have entertained us either with their football skills or with their joy to life. there's been so many different contributions that it's hard for me to say that, this is what I've contributed. Because I don't even really like saying that type of thing. It's a bit,
That's
do you know
what
what I
I said,
mean?
I'll put you on
It's
the
hard.
spot.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one. I would have to say the supporters would have to give you that answer, or the boys that I'm in and around. I might have supported the boy in a way that one of the boys that I don't even know that I've supported in a way. They might have carried something that I've done that's helped them contribute to the Dons. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But as I said, I'd probably say being myself, being who I am, and not being afraid to be who I am. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Regardless. So, and not trying to fit into a box and be something I ain't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think
SC Dons is definitely unique.
Oh, extremely.
In its own right, you know what I'm trying to say. So I think what you said in the beginning with regards to the authenticity within that friendship is probably the key between all of that. Because you can make up another team, but they don't have that. They don't have that chemistry, as you just said. So you can't. It's then difficult to act it out. Whereas if it's natural anyway, it's natural anyway. Regardless of if you win or you lose, that's me. But
one thing I will say is that, because also I like to, one thing I would say is, how can I explain this? So even with other teams, I don't have any like distaste to any of them. Like they're trying something, we're trying something. That's how I see things when it comes to it. Like sometimes I think a lot of people, and we all can get caught up in this, because I'm not going to say that I haven't been caught up in this. Yeah, you can get caught up in this type of thing of like, I don't like how they're doing this, or I don't like how they're doing that. To me, I'm thinking to myself, we've started something, and we weren't the first to do it, because Hashtag and Palmers were there before us. They did it before us. We've done it differently to them, but they've done it before us. So respect that. Do you know what I mean? And also there's other people that have come after us. There's other people that have come after us who made it because they saw it and they was entertained by what we were doing, or they was inspired by what we do, and they started it. I'm not going to hold that against them, because do you know what happens in this? Do you know what happens in this world? People get copied. What do you think music is? What do you think football is? There's always another footballer. There's always another musician. There's always going to be another football team. Do you know what I mean? And the worst thing about it is that I feel like there needs to be other teams out there who are also carrying the bandwagon, because it's not just the SC Dons movement. It's a football movement that is completely different from the Premier League or the Championship or the La Liga or Serie A or the Champions League, the World Cup. It's completely separate. These are real people that love football, who are playing grassroots football, that every day, and any people that can come and see it, that can come and watch, don't have to pay for it, unless it's a cup final. Unless it's a cup final, which you should pay for a cup final. You know what I mean? But like tomorrow, we got a game. Obviously, supporters are not allowed to come tomorrow. But from, I think, Monday onwards, supporters are allowed to come. Listen, mate, why am I charging a fan to come watch a grassroots game? Man, come and hitch up a chair, have a little entertainment. You don't even have to be there to support either team, bruv. Just come and just be entertained and watch a game of football. Get out your house. Do you know what I mean? So as I said, look, man, I want other teams to do well as well, because I feel like it helps us. Others. It always helps us, because you can't just have one person pulling the bandwagon. You know what I mean?
You win. And if you win, they win.
Exactly, especially if you're still pulling your weight, because you have to still make sure that you pull your weight, because you can't let everyone else pull the weight for you. Do you know what I mean? And that's another thing that I feel like the Dons has done well, because it's not just been Andrew and Chris who have been entertaining or been editing and pulling their weight. We've also pulled our weight into a degree where I've helped edit with sometimes, or I've helped entertain, or I've helped organise a game or something like that. And the boys have been on the trip. They've helped because they've given us entertaining football. They've given us brilliant football that people want to come and watch. And do you know what I mean? So everyone's contributing everyone's pulling their weight. So I think that helps as well.
And then obviously finally it will be more about where is it gonna end, or what's the end goal, or what's the what's that basically?
The end goal, I think there will be like some form of detached league over this side. So you have the FA will have their Premier League, Championship, and all that kind of stuff, and the world will have whatever football they have, FIFA, and there'll be a YouTube league, and it will be. Yeah, and that's what I think the next step is, a YouTube league. Now, whether that YouTube league is strictly in England, or whether that YouTube league is all around the world, that's another case. Do you know what I mean?
It's a people's football, basically.
Yeah, That's what it is. So
anyone can get in there. You don't have to be a rich person to enter Chelsea or Manchester or it could be the normal kid in the area that knows how to play football that's joined a local team and now he's on TV and he might be getting money for it and whatever else.
and that's where the growth is, because my hope is that we can still keep the Sunday aspect of it, even if it's a YouTube league, and it not to be too bougie like how the Premier League is, where people feel like they can't meet a Paul Pogba. People feel like they can meet a Big G anytime they want. Do you know what I mean? They feel like they can meet a Crook Seko or John Strapsy or a Zach Ants or a Jack Aldinho and not feel embarrassed to go to say, brother, I appreciate what you're doing. I had a big man come up to me yesterday. I went to go buy fruit and veg in Lewisham. I pulled up on a little scooter to draw out some money. I had my headphones in, and then I turned around, and the guy was looking at me. He said, "You're right," and I could hear him. I was like, because sometimes I forget. Do you know what I mean? I think he's probably just like wants to ask me a question. Yeah. So I took my earphones. I was like, "Are you right, mate?" And he goes, "Bro, I need to say, man, I love your vibe." Big man, you know, this guy's probably about 50. Because I love your vibe. White guy, because I love your vibe. I love what you lot do. I just wanted to tell you that. I said, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bruv, you know what I mean? And I like that. Because I'm not bougie. Don't talk to me. Chat to me, bro. Like, I'll have a chin wag with you. Do you know what I mean? I'm a normal guy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not some, you know what I mean? I wasn't born into riches. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hopefully I die when I've got some riches, so I can give my son, hopefully a son, give him son. Do you know what I mean? You never know, but yeah, man, it's just I love that, man. I really do, man. Honestly, it's really, really nice because it feels like you're doing something well. Do you know what I mean? Even though you know you are because you're in it, but at the same time, when everyday people are appreciating it and they're not being disrespectful or whatever, blah, 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 because sometimes you can get some disrespectful people. It feels good, bruv. It feels really good, man.
You're doing something you enjoy. You're doing it in a positive way. And hopefully, long term as well, there's money to be made for every Tom, Dick and Harry out there. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Whereas I think the Premier Leagues and all these places, yeah, of course, that's where you want to end up in. But sometimes it does become too special and only a few selected human beings get to go there. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's hard to get to the Premier League, you know.
It's
hard to get to the Premier League.
Like for example, car manufacturers. You can't just tomorrow decide, I want to be a car manufacturer.
Unless you're like some serious
Elon Musk or something.
So unless you're some serious engineer that just knows about that stuff, then it's different. But as I said, look, with that sound like a detached league, it's another option for footballers that may have, you know what I mean, not worked out in the professional game. They could come over into our game. That's another thing. That's a niche that we have, is that guys like Zach Ansah, Jack Aldinho, Salvin, aka SK the Mask, Montel, Adjuman, even Ryan Palmer to a degree. A lot of these boys have been in academies and been disappointed, or injuries have hampered them, or you know they've been released and stuff like that. They've been down with it, and just playing with us, man, on a Sunday is just giving them that that release, that not even a purpose, just that release of I'm playing football. I might not be playing at the top level in the world, but I'm actually so happy. Do you know what I mean? And that's a question that a lot of people don't ask people each other every day. When's the last time you just asked someone, are you happy? Do you know what I mean? We're quick to say, like judge a person's relationship or judge a person's way of thinking or judge a person's religion or something like that. But you never say, when was the last time you said to that person, Abdi, are you happy? Do you know what I mean? Mitch, are you happy? Do you know what I mean? And the person just comes back and say, yeah, I am, you know. And you say, yeah, man, that's good to hear. Do you know what I mean? Just, I mean, small things like that, I think we've lost in life. And we need to gain it back some way or another. Do you know what I mean?
Cool. One last question.
Go on, talk to me.
What's your message to viewers? What can they learn from your lesson in your life?
That it's never over. It's never over. And look, my struggles over here are completely different from a struggle from someone that lives in a third world country or something like that. It's completely different. Struggle's a struggle, don't get me wrong. But try to put perspective into your situation a little bit more, and hopefully you'll find your shine the light and get out of it. That's what I really got to say.